Thank you. We'll be in touch.
That means that you have failed in your pitch, almost inevitably. Hey everyone, I'm Patrick Laughlin, Chief Operating Officer for iProv, but I bet you didn't know I'm also a former creative director. Today, we're going to be taking another look at a scene from Mad Men. Mad Men is one of those shows that for folks in the marketing and advertising business just sort of resonates in a lot of ways, especially some of the scenes where they're pitching work to clients. Today, we're going to watch Don and the boys pitch some ads to Heinz Ketchup. Let's take a look, and then I'll give you my thoughts after we watch it.
It's clean, it's simple, and it's tantalizingly incomplete. What's missing? One thing. Pass the Heinz.
You mean the Heinz Ketchup?
It's Heinz. It only means one thing.
It feels like half an ad.
The greatest thing you have working for you is not the photo you take or the picture you paint. It's the imagination of the consumer. They have no budget. They have no time limit. And if you can get into that space, your ad can run all day.
Well, Pete, you said I'd say it. It's pretty bold work. I think I still want to see our bottle.
I thought that at first too, but if you
We
really
will
think...
test it both ways.
It's a testament to Ketchup that there can be no confusion.
Let me chew on it, fellas.
You're going to be thinking of ketchup all day, and you didn't even see it.
Thank you. We'll be in touch.
Oh man, two phrases an ad guy never wants to hear. Let me think about it, or let me chew on it in this case, and we'll be in touch. That means that you have failed in your pitch, almost inevitably. Now, sometimes not. Sometimes you are producing work like this that's pretty bold and pretty out there, and they genuinely have to give it some thought.
You said I'd say it. It's pretty bold work.
They're the ones whose neck are on the line if it doesn't go well. I mean, honestly, I sort of love this style of campaign where you are simplifying it as much as you can, and you're playing on the fact that you are the leader in that brand. I love the photography, sort of the naked French fries or the hamburger with everything on it but the ketchup. I'm not so sure about the steak one in the middle. I don't know who's putting ketchup on their steak, but maybe that was a different time back then. But what's also interesting about that is you have to remember that Heinz is a global brand. In the States, Heinz means ketchup. Almost everywhere else in the world, Heinz means beans. And in fact, in a different episode or in this show, they talk a lot about Heinz beans. And they're getting the opportunity to work for Heinz Ketchup at Sterling Cooper Draper Price. Also, I think it's important to listen to client feedback, especially if they know about what makes them iconic.
I think I still want to see our bottle.
Everybody recognizes the Heinz bottle. It is one of the most iconic shapes in product design, right? This sort of narrow little neck, and it hasn't changed in 100 years. Everybody knows what a Heinz ketchup bottle looks like. And so when the client says, I'd really like to see our bottle, I'm sort of in agreement with them. You know, it's like showing the Coke bottle. Most people don't drink Coke out of a glass bottle anymore, but that's still an iconic symbol for Coca-Cola. Maybe the most iconic brand in the world next to Apple. Finding a creative way to include that iconic image in there, and maybe you do something crazy. I've been known to change a client's logo just for an ad campaign. Maybe you incorporate the shape of the bottle and the eye in the Heinz so that you are getting that in. Maybe you make that one particular thing red. So there's a little bit of punch of color and the person equates that it's Heinz ketchup. I know that the guys from Sterling Cooper are hoping that the customer will make that leap in their mind, but I think they're also forgetting that the customer is inundated with these things. It's really easy when you create ads in a bubble like this to think this is the one that's going to get every customer or every potential buyer that sees its attention. But you got to remember, it's in a sea of ads. And although I do think that this would get attention, I also think that, it's easy to get lost. What's interesting is I actually did a really similar campaign for a bank in the early 2000s. There was a banking boom. There was literally a bank on every corner, and they were all running some sort of crazy promotion. My customer at the time had a very small budget. They certainly couldn't compete on ad buy. So we came up with an ad campaign about nothing. We called it their Seinfeld campaign. And the tagline was, take a break from banking. If you're driving down the road and all you see is, we'll give you $200 for opening a checking account, or you get a toaster for opening a money market, we're going to be the anti-bank. I think this was sort of meant to be an anti-ketchup campaign, an anti-advertising campaign. That's why they wanted to stand out. But Heinz is ketchup in the United States. You're the market leader. You got to play on some of that iconic history. I love this pitch. A lot of it, felt very familiar. I've certainly had more than my fair share of things that I've put out there to a client that I thought would dramatically impact their business, and they just weren't ready for it. Guys at Sterling Cooper Draper Price, I think, figured that out with Heinz here too. Tell me what you think. If you have been in the business and have some horror stories of pitch meetings.
I was an orphan.
I'd love to hear them in the comments. If you think I'm way off and this was the best campaign ever, don't be afraid to tell me that too. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you get notified each time we release a video. Thanks very much.